What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be installing the MFC Offroad ram mount bracket for the dash for the 2014 to 20, I'm guessing probably the newest, but mine is for 2014, so I'm going to recommend or reference that. This is the mount bracket that goes right behind your little pocket on the dash. This is a ram mount kit. So then that way you can mount stuff like tablets, cell phones, your handheld for your mic or for your GSMR or CB radio, ham radio, whatever you were running at the time. So that includes these. That includes a power strip. Got little springs in there, so that way it keeps it closed. That mounts to this as well, so then that way you can run power straight to said tablet, iPhones, whatever you're using up there. It includes everything in the packaging. Again, this is from MFC Offroad. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you how to put everything together and then install it in the vehicle itself. So let's get to it. Okay, as you can see, we have everything in front of us. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to mount the ram mounts onto this. My little kit here. So basically all it is you have, actually let me explain a little better. So you have your mount holes here for the ram mounts. Right here is also for your little power strip. And then if I could figure out how to do it, I will include a photo. MFC also offers a bracket that mounts to here and here and has a little bar that goes across if you want to use like a clamp style mount instead of using these ram mounts. I did not opt for that, which I kind of sometimes wish I did because the carbon fiber would look really cool. But like I said, I did not do that. So we'll do this for now. So I will probably end up speeding this up after I do this first one, just because, save you guys the boring. So these do go right into here. I'm going to pre-thread them because the tolerances are pretty tight. I don't believe these are threaded originally on this part. So as you put it in there, it does get a lot easier once you tighten it up the first time. So you're going to want to put this right on the holes. Screw them in. I would usually put some Loctite on here, but I am actually filming this on New Year's Day because I have nothing better to do today. And yeah, stores I would usually go to get some Loctite are not open right now. I do highly recommend using orange Loctite because it has a high strength hold of red, but the ease of taking it off like the blue. So a little news for you guys in there in the YouTube world. Alright, so that's the first one on there. That's exactly what it should look like. This will be the front of your mount. So this will be towards windshield, back towards driver area. There's your ram mount. I am going to get the second one on there now, and then we'll tune back in and I will show you how to mount up your power supply. Okay, so we are back. I have both pieces mounted on there, nice and tight. And then the next thing will be the kit for the power. Now normally I would, oh actually before I jump ahead, so you do have the screws that will remount this back into the stock location. Obviously we will cover that. Then we have the screws right here, nuts and bolts to mount this to here. Now normally with all of this I would use marine grade heat shrink when it comes to electrical connections, but seeing that this is going to be inside the vehicle, I am not going to bother with that. Because obviously I really hope not to bury this to the point where I need to worry about something that's on top of my dash getting wet. I do have the snorkel, which will help a lot, but yeah, I don't plan on going that deep. While I'm here and I'm looking at it, if you guys are wondering about this grate here in the middle, this is for the Jeep Cherokees that have the center speaker. Mine does not, I don't believe. I haven't actually even looked at it underneath there, but I don't believe I have it because I don't have the subwoofer set up. So yeah, we'll worry about that one when we get there. I'll show you guys that. Smaller. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to tighten this little power strip down. This is not something that needs to be super tight just because it is plastic, but we are going to tighten it a decent amount. Like I said, you don't tighten it too much. So what we will do is we will hold the socket on one side and just tighten it with a T-handle on the other until I feel like it's decently good, so it doesn't go flopping around. A little bit there, and then a little bit there. She's tight. And then the cool thing that MFC also offers with this is this little plate. This keeps it a clean look, so then that way you don't see the springs back here, you don't see the bolts. Like I said, it has a little spring mount there. So then that way locks it back into place. So we will take this and mount it on. There we go, locked into place. And then there you go, nice clean look. And then now let's go back into the inside of the vehicle and let's see how we can take the dash apart. Okay everybody, welcome to the inside of the Jeep. As you can see back here, it's a little blown out because it is raining outside, but I don't have my lighting in here yet for the garage, so I figured I'll open the garage door up, get some extra lighting up here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the big thing we're going to do right now is this piece back here is the part that we're removing. I see it up a little bit so we don't have to reach too much. So yeah, this part right here is what we're removing. So the easiest thing to do is kind of just open this up, shove a screwdriver in there. Now with my own personal vehicle, I'm going to be a little more violent when it comes to this, just to get it out of there, because I don't plan on ever putting this back in. So those pops you hear, don't worry, they are just the clips that are on the inside that are currently holding it into the dash. And just like that, our good friend Jesse at MFC Offroad, he was a lot slower at it, but a lot more careful with it because obviously gotta make it look nice for MFC. But we love MFC, they're a big help to this. But like I said, just put a screwdriver in there, hop it right out. Don't plan on ever using that again. I'll probably end up still throwing it in the garage somewhere for safekeeping, but I don't plan on ever putting it back. So, feels like a little head on there. So let's go get like a 10mm or something like that and see what happens, and we will be right back. Okay, so we're back. I did say it was a 10mm, but just for everybody's future reference, it's a 7. So what we're gonna do is there's gonna be 2 screws here. There's gonna be 1 screw up here, which there's a mat on my floor. There is a mat inside here that's holding the 1 screw. So I took that out pre-doing this, just so that way I didn't have to bore you guys with the whole me fighting with taking it out. Another one here. Now these aren't in there tight at all, so you should be able to just break it free and then put the socket in there and then just turn it. Now we were referencing back to the little screws I had in there before. So these are the little screws that are in there. You guys can see it, hopefully. If not, use your imagination. So the screws I referenced before when we were taking the little powder strip out, that is the screws that are going to be replacing these. Just to give you guys a heads up. I kind of do wish I had my electric wrench, but I'm an idiot and I left it at work. So I'm gonna have to bore you guys a little bit with the whole taking the screws out. Now let's see if I remember. I think there was only 2 of them up here. If not, there was possibly 4. Once I take these out, we will know. So there are 4. There are 2 in the back, 1 or 2 on each side. I'll break them free a little bit. Now the cool thing with the Trailhawk that I like the most is the passenger seat folds down all the way, which is good for one thing right now, which is the fact that I can use it as a work table for all my little wrenches and screwdrivers and the actual plate itself. Now if you're wondering why am I taking this part out, the big reason is because then when you take this out, you can gain access to everything behind the dashboard. The reason we want to do that is because you can run this power strip all the way over here to the fuse box, but then you got to fight with finding which one has power at the right times that you want them and all that other good stuff. Or you can run it to your cigarette lighter, which is down there, which also only works when the key is on, which is a good thing because then when you go camping and your power is off and you're charging, well, if you're wired to that, you're not charging, but if you ran it all the way to that and then you have to fight with wondering if your battery's going to die in the morning, etc., etc. Or you could just run it to something that doesn't have power all the time. That way it shuts off for you when your vehicle shuts off. You don't got to worry. But yeah, gives you a lot of wire to run all the way from the top to the bottom, and then also to that. So I'm going to break free real quick. I'm going to wire this all up. So I want to bore you guys with that whole thing. Also because I'll probably end up fighting with this and trying to figure out how to take it apart. Yeah, when I'm getting ready to put this back in, we'll tune back in. I'll show you how to do all that. And then I'll show you the final product of it all installed. So with the magic of editing, done. Welcome back. As you can tell, still have the dash ripped apart. So I was trying to do all this and completely forgot that I didn't bring my multimeter from work. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be putting the dash back together, at least the top part of it. That way everything is done on here. So this does have a little latch in the front. You have to kind of tilt it in from the back. And then just lay that in there. So that's how it will look when it is all complete. You have the screws in here. One mounts here. You do have all 4 of them to mount into the back, so that way it holds it in place nice and securely. So for the sake of the video, I will be pretending that I finished this because I'm an idiot. But when I get to work tomorrow, because today is New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, like I said, and then tomorrow I do go back to work. I will finish up the wiring part of all this, so then that way when I do finally order my RAM mounts, I can finish the wiring part of this. Obviously I will be putting it all back together before I drive, so that way I don't gotta worry. But this also gave me a realization that I need to start buying tools for this garage, because I do plan on doing a lot more installation videos, even though I know this one is going to probably do terrible, because 1, my channel is still new, and 2, the video probably sucked, because it's all over the place. The only real reason why it's all over the place currently is because of how cold it is. I'm sniffling like crazy, dealing with all the dust that's in the garage, dealing with the wind outside because of how cold it currently is. So hopefully in the summertime, when it gets nicer, I will be uploading better videos. But also, while I'm putting this together, I want to talk about the next event that is coming up. So if you follow my channel and you also follow some of the off-roading groups out there, there is a group called the Back Roads of Appalachia. They also do an event. They do a lot of events. They do everything from off-roading to drifting to hill climbs, time attacks, I believe. But the one that we are going to be mostly talking about right now is the 24 Hours of Appalachia. So Jed Smith, I believe, is the one who came up with it. If I'm not, if I am mistaken, please correct me in the comments below. But that's who I usually talk to when it comes to this event in particular. So I will be participating in the 24 Hours of Appalachia in West Virginia in March. Which is one of the reasons why I am adding this mounting plate to the Jeep, so that way when I do the event, I can have an iPad here for my Onyx Off-Road. If I have a co-driver, I will have a mount or a wireless charger for them for their phone. We are currently looking for sponsors. We're looking for donators. We're looking for sponsors for the Jeep, as well as donations for the event itself. This won't be probably the only event that I do with 24 Hour, but it is the one that's coming up soon. Like I said before, MFC Offroad was amazing at donating the snorkel for last year and for this year. Honestly, for how much snorkels cost these days, they probably have donated, or they probably have sponsored me for quite a while. Just because it is a very good product. It is a very needed product when it comes to off-roading. Snorkels are known for the water crossing, but the biggest impact that those have is getting the air box or air intake above the dust level. Doesn't eliminate all the dust, but it does eliminate a good chunk of it. But yeah, we will be doing an interview with Jed for the 24 Hour Appalachia. We will be doing it in March when we go down there. So stay tuned for that. I will either include that in the 24-hour race, 24-hour rally. It's not a race. 24-hour rallies video, or I'll make it its own. I'll probably make it its own, so that way it's dedicated own little thing. But hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. There is a little ring or a little bell next to the subscribe button that when you click it, hit that and hit all, so that we can get updated on videos in the future when they are released. So for the benefit, or for the trickery, I guess you could say, whatever you want to call it, this is done. This is a great little kit. I've seen it in person in Jesse's Jeep when I went out there. I've actually been, that's another interview we're going to be doing. We're actually going to be interviewing Jesse from MFC Offroad at his production studio, manufacturing warehouse, whichever you please call it. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys liked it. Sorry if there's a little bit of noise in the background. Like I said, it's cold. I got the Jeep running. I got the heat on a little bit. So yeah, we will see you guys on the next one. Hopefully the next install video will be more of this, more of the accessories, the arms and everything, and hopefully I can get some roof lights in. I do plan on also running MFC's utility rail for the roof and some aux beam off-road lighting, so that we were more well prepared for the event. So tune in next time. See you guys later. Just get out there, explore.